You walk into the grocery store trying to do something good for your heart. You pick up the bottle with the words, heart healthy, light, cholesterol free. Maybe you've been using it for years. Maybe you even switched to it because you wanted to eat cleaner, lose weight, lower your blood pressure, or protect your heart after 50. But here's what's surprising doctors right now. Some of these so-called healthy oils may be quietly fueling inflammation inside the body every single day. And the dangerous part? Most people feel absolutely nothing while it's happening. Until one day, their joints start hurting more. Their blood pressure keeps climbing. Their belly fat becomes stubborn. Their energy crashes in the afternoon. Or their doctor starts talking about inflammation markers, arteries, or heart risk. What makes this even more concerning is that after 50, your body handles certain oils very differently than it did in your 30s. Your body becomes more sensitive to inflammation. Recovery slows down. Blood vessels become more delicate. And the foods you eat every day start having a much bigger effect than most people realize. Now, before we continue, welcome to Longevity Health Guide. I'm Dr. Juliet, and on this channel, we talk about what really happens inside the body after 40, in simple, clear language that actually makes sense. Because small daily habits can quietly shape how you feel 10 years from now. And today, we need to talk about one of the biggest health illusions sitting in millions of kitchens right now. Because one oil in particular has been marketed as healthy for years. Yet researchers are becoming increasingly concerned about how it may affect inflammation, heart health, and aging in adults over 50. And stay with me until the end. Because I'm also going to show you the simple mistake many people make when cooking with even healthy oils that can turn them harmful in minutes. And honestly, once you see it, you'll probably never look at your frying pan the same way again. Picture this. It's a normal morning. You're in the kitchen, maybe rushing a little because the day has already started pulling you in different directions. You reach for the same bottle you always use. You don't even think twice about it. A spoon goes into the pan. A quick fry. Maybe eggs. Something simple. It smells familiar. It feels right. Because for years, you've been told this is the better choice. Use this one for your heart. This one is lighter. This one is healthier. So it becomes automatic. No questions or second thoughts. But here's what most people never realize. After 50, your body doesn't respond to food in the same quiet, forgiving way it used to. Small things start to matter more. Not in a dramatic way you notice immediately, but in a slow, build-up way your body quietly keeps track of. And this is where it gets interesting. Inside your body, inflammation is not something you always feel right away. It doesn't show up like pain on day one. It builds slowly, like a background process you can't see. A little more stiffness when you wake up. A bit more heaviness after meals. Energy that doesn't last as long as it used to. Recovery that takes longer than expected. Most people separate these things. They think, that's just age. That's normal now. Everyone feels like this after 50. But what if that assumption is wrong? What if your body isn't just slowing down? What if it's reacting to something you're using every single day without question? Now let's talk about why this matters more after 50. As the body ages, the natural repair systems begin to change. The lining of your blood vessels becomes more sensitive. Your metabolism becomes less flexible. And your inflammatory response, the system that's supposed to protect you, becomes easier to trigger and harder to calm down. So things that your body could easily handle in your 30s don't pass through as quietly anymore. They leave a trace. And when that trace builds up over time, it can affect how your joints feel, how your heart works, and how your energy holds up during the day. Now here's the part that surprises most people. It's not always the bad foods causing this. Sometimes it's the foods you trust the most. And one of the biggest examples of that sits right in your kitchen every day. Used for frying, used for cooking, used because it was labeled heart-friendly. But inside the body, especially after 50, something very different may be happening. And to understand that, we need to slow down and look at what these oils actually do once they enter your system, and why your body may respond differently now compared to before. Think about cooking oil like fuel. Your body takes that fuel and uses it to build cells, produce hormones, support the brain, protect blood vessels, and create energy. That's why the type of oil you use matters. because your body is literally built from what you repeatedly feed it. Now, years ago, many oils became popular because they were cheap, easy to produce, and stayed fresh on shelves for a long time. Food companies loved them. Restaurants loved them. And eventually, families started believing they were the smarter option too. Especially oils made from seeds like soybean, corn, sunflower, and canola oil. You started seeing words like light, heart smart, better for cholesterol. And that sounds reassuring. But researchers have been looking deeper into how some heavily processed seed oils behave inside the body, especially when they're repeatedly heated at high temperatures. And this is where things begin to change. When certain oils are exposed to very high heat over and over again, tiny unstable compounds can begin to form. You can think of them almost like rust forming inside metal. The oil starts breaking down. And when that happens, the body may treat those damaged compounds like irritants. Your immune system reacts. Inflammation rise. Now remember, inflammation itself is not automatically bad. Your body uses inflammation to heal cuts, fight infections, and repair damage. The problem starts when inflammation stays switched on quietly in the background for years. That's the kind linked to many age-related problems: heart disease, joint pain, fatigue, memory decline, and even stubborn belly fat. And after 50, your body becomes less efficient at calming that inflammation back down. That's why two people can eat the exact same meal, yet the older body may struggle more with the aftermath. Now here's another piece most people never hear. A lot of these oils are hiding in foods that don't even taste oily. Store-bought salad dressings, packaged snacks, fast foods, chips, mayonnaise, restaurant meals, even healthy foods. Now let's get into the oils themselves, because this is where many people get surprised. Some of the oils most heavily marketed as healthy are the exact ones many experts now say should be used more carefully after 50, especially in large amounts and under high heat. And again, this is not about panic. It's about understanding how your body changes with age and making smarter choices because of it. Number 3, corn oil. Corn oil became popular because it was affordable and widely available. For years, people were told it was a smarter alternative to older cooking fats. But corn oil is highly processed, and it contains large amounts of omega-6 fats. Now, your body does need some omega-6. The issue is balance. Modern diets already overload the body with omega-6 fats from processed foods, fried foods, chips, fast foods, and packaged meals. And when that balance gets too high for too long, inflammation can become easier to trigger. This becomes even worse when corn oil is repeatedly heated. That's when the oil starts breaking down faster. Number 2, soybean oil. This one is everywhere. Restaurant foods, packaged snacks, frozen foods, mayo, salad dressings. Many people consume soybean oil every single day without realizing how often it appears in processed foods. And the problem isn't just the oil itself. It's the amount people are exposed to constantly. Your body was never designed to handle heavily processed oils in nearly every meal all day long. That's why some people notice they feel lighter and less sluggish when they start eating fresher meals cooked at home more often. Number 1, reheated vegetable oil. This is the biggest issue of all, not just one specific oil, but the repeated reheating of vegetable oils over and over again. This is where many of the harmful compounds really begin building up. The darker the oil becomes, the longer it smokes, the more times it's reused, the more stress it can place on the body. And unfortunately, this happens constantly in deep frying, fast food, street food, restaurant fryers, even home kitchens. And the body after 50 often reacts much more strongly to this repeated oxidative stress. This is why many people feel exhausted after heavily fried meals, now in ways they never did years ago. Their body simply processes it differently now. But here's the important part. You do not need to become afraid of every oil. The goal is balance, better choices, better cooking habits, and reducing the constant inflammatory load your body deals with every day. And now let's talk about the oils many experts consider much gentler choices after 50, and how to actually use them the right way. One of the biggest mistakes people make with healthy eating is trying to change everything overnight. That usually lasts about 4 days. Then life gets busy, and old habits quietly return. A much smarter approach is simple swaps. Small changes your body feels repeatedly over time. So, if you're over 50 and trying to reduce inflammation, here are some practical upgrades that actually make sense in real life. Number 1, olive oil. This is one of the most researched oils for heart health, especially extra virgin olive oil. It contains natural compounds called polyphenols that may help support blood vessels and calm inflammation. But here's something many people don't know. Extra virgin olive oil works best for lighter cooking, drizzling, or medium heat. Very high heat for long periods can still damage it. So think about light cooking, salads, vegetables, or adding it after cooking. Number 2, avocado oil. This one handles heat much better. So, if you enjoy cooking at higher temperatures, avocado oil is often a gentler option. It's more stable under heat, which means it breaks down less easily during cooking, and that stability matters after 50. Because the less damaged compounds your body deals with, the less inflammatory stress it may experience over time. Simple traditional cooking. Something interesting happens when people return to simpler cooking styles. Less deep frying, less ultra-processed food, more homemade meals. The body often responds surprisingly well. Not because the meals are perfect, but because fresh food usually contains fewer heavily processed ingredients hiding inside it. Even something as simple as grilled fish, vegetables, eggs, beans, rice cooked at home can feel very different in the body compared to heavily fried takeout meals every day. Now here's another important point. Healthy eating after 50 is less about chasing trends and more about reducing constant stress inside the body. Better sleep, better hydration, less processed food, less repeated frying, more whole foods. Those small habits work together, and the body notices consistency much more than perfection. Now here's the bonus I promised you earlier, because even healthy oils can become a problem when they're used the wrong way. And this mistake is incredibly common, heating oil until it starts smoking. A lot of people think smoke simply means, okay, the pan is hot now, but smoke is actually a warning sign. It means the oil is beginning to break down. And once that breakdown starts, the flavor changes, the smell changes, and more unstable compounds begin forming inside the oil. Your body then has to deal with those compounds after you eat. Now imagine this happening day after day, year after year, especially after 50, when the body becomes more sensitive to inflammatory stress. This is why some meals leave people feeling energized, while others leave them feeling heavy, sleepy, bloated, or uncomfortable afterward. The body responds differently depending on how the food was prepared. And honestly, many people don't realize the healthiest cooking habits are often the simplest ones. Lower heat, less burning, less charring, less repeated frying. Your grandmother's slower cooking style may actually have been gentler on the body than modern ultra-hot frying methods. Now, another thing worth paying attention to is flavor. When food always needs to be extremely greasy, crispy, or heavily fried to feel satisfying, the body can slowly become conditioned to overstimulation. Then natural foods begin tasting boring. But something interesting happens when people gradually reduce heavily fried foods for a few weeks. Their taste buds reset. Fresh food starts tasting richer again. The body feels lighter after meals. Energy becomes steadier. And many people notice they stop craving greasy foods as intensely as before. Not through force, not through strict dieting, just because the body starts functioning differently. At the end, this is not about fear. It's about awareness. Because most people using these oils genuinely believed they were making healthy choices. They were trying to protect their heart, protect their body, protect their future. And that's why understanding this matters. Especially after 50, health becomes less about quick fixes and more about what your body experiences consistently every single day. Tiny choices repeated over time become powerful. The oil in your kitchen, the way your meals are cooked, how often your body deals with heavily processed foods. Those things may seem small in the moment, but your body keeps score quietly. And what I really want you to remember from today is this. You do not need to eat perfectly to help your body age better. You simply want to reduce the things that constantly keep inflammation switched on. Because when inflammation calms down, the body often works better as a whole. Energy improves, recovery improves, digestion improves. Even the brain and heart can benefit from a calmer internal environment. That's why simple awareness can become such a powerful health tool after 50. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What oil do you currently use most often in your kitchen? And have you ever noticed feeling heavier, more tired, or sluggish after certain fried foods? Write it down in the comments because I read them carefully, and your experience may help someone else too. And if this video helped you understand your body a little better, make sure you subscribe to Longevity Health Guide with Dr. Juliet. Because here, we break down health and aging in a simple way that actually makes sense. And if you know someone over 50 who still believes every heart-healthy label automatically means safe, share this video with them. It could completely change the way they cook starting tomorrow. See you in the next one.